welcome back, everybody, to another exciting episode of the Digital Toilet Paper Podcast. My name is Jason Bear.
I'm Rex Rebo.
Armed and Hilarious.
And we are, of course, back to hang out with you guys. We're going to change the format of the show a little bit this time. We're going to talk about one specific topic. This time it's going to be musical artists who have consecutive hit albums, and who makes our list. We'll give you a list of a bunch of people, and then we'll tell you why we think ours is better. And after that, we're going to give you guys some hot takes on some pop culture stuff. So stay tuned, enjoy, and here we go. So, where are we at? So number one hit record. So what makes a hit record? Is it just about charts? Is it just about sales? How are we gonna definitively say what we need to say here?
I think transcending albums. I don't think album sales is per se the most important thing. I don't even know if it's like breaks the top 5 as far as important things. But good music, good songs from beginning to end. An album, we live in, vinyl's making a resurgence. If you can put that album on, listen to it from beginning to end. And that's why getting started, it's easy, the top 2, but the early albums were compilations of singles. So a lot of the early stuff doesn't really make my list. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say, but I think it is that an experience from beginning to end, that you kind of go through a little journey, whether it's just a journey of great songs or telling a story, whether it's a Who, Quadrophenia, but that's the criteria that I had.
Okay, that's a great metric. So let's actually, I know that album sales aren't everything, but it is something, right? If people are buying, if people are excited about your record, that's part of it, but if people are buying it consistently, that says something too. So let's look at this. So the number, according to Billboard, right? Like we'll talk about debuts for a second, because that's kind of a big deal.
Well, that's an important part. To make the list, you're going to see a lot of them first albums. You have to start off on the right foot, right?
Yeah. Well, not just like freshman albums, but like also like chart topping debuts, like consistently making albums that debut, that hit the charts.
Yes.
So the most consecutive studio albums to debut at number 1, right? I think like debuting, like whatever their opening week is, Eminem has the most. I think only the Slim Shady LP of all of his albums didn't debut at number 1 in sales, which again, sales aren't sales. I think is Billboard sales and plays, or is it just sales?
I believe it's a combination of both.
Yeah, sales and radio plays. So Eminem, behind that, Kanye, I think it's like Eminem has like 10 or 9, and then Kanye, Taylor Swift, Dave Matthews, and Beyonce have 8. Metallica, I think, has 7. Disturbed has 7. Drake has 7. This is debut, not hitting it, or 6. Bieber, Madonna, and U2. Disturbed, Drake, Bieber, Madonna, and U2 all have 6. So,
so should we jump off with Eminem? What did you guys? So I think Eminem is in the club, but I think he stops after Relapse. I think the first 4, if you go Slim Shady LP, to Marshall Mathers, Eminem Show, and then Encore, are 4 great albums. I think they're all, especially those first 3, top to bottom, you can listen through. I know some of the audio tracks where it's just kind of spoken word stuff doesn't age as well, but I think he's in the club. I think he hits that Grand Slam club of 4 consecutive great albums.
Yeah.
But I think he stops at 4 though. Despite the sales, I don't think Relapse is in that.
Well, he'll admit that album's
a great album.
I think he'll admit that album is trash, right? That's the low water mark of his career to that point. And if he wasn't there, because Recovery is a slamming album too.
It is.
And then the Eminem Marshall Mathers LP2 is also slamming, like super powerful. So yeah, I think that counts. It's hard with artists like Jay-Z that have like 15, 16 records.
And I don't think Jay-Z is in the club. I think he's close. I mean,
yeah,
I love the Blueprint. I love that, but I don't think he has 4 bang, 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 bang right in a row.
Okay. Well, my pick, who doesn't make the most consecutive lists because he didn't release that many albums, I guess, in his solo career, but Michael Jackson. And I would say Off the Wall, Thriller, Bad, Dangerous, just killer albums from beginning to end. Not just that, but keeping up with musical times, like going from like Off the Wall, which is kind of a disco pop album, all the way to Dangerous, which is kind of a New Jack swing kind of album.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and again, beginning to end, there are one or two songs on maybe each of those tracks that you kind of go, okay, but you don't skip them. You don't have to skip. You might ignore them in the background, but you don't have to skip them.
No, but I give a little bit of leeway for trying to be innovative, because that first album is a straight up disco album, right? Yeah. Off the Wall is a disco album, and he does change over time. It is pop music, but he definitely innovated, brought great, well-produced albums, and enjoyable to listen to from top to bottom.
Yeah.
So he's in the club. Now one of hip hop albums, we were talking Jay-Z and Eminem. I think Public Enemy is close. I think they may have the 3 best hip hop albums back to back to back, but they did not, on that fourth one, did not quite make it.
Yeah, and the second PE album, right? Do you remember the controversy? Like, they got shelved for a different artist, and so they had to, that album got released, which was a great album. It was just a step and a half behind the times because hip hop changed. And so the third album, they said that they want to release the greatest album up to that point. And so, I can go on for hours, but there's NPR did a great piece on Public Enemy a few weeks ago.
I'll have to check it out.
Go look it up. It talks about like how they developed their sound and despite Flava Flav being probably one of the most obnoxious figures in public media.
I love Flavor Flav. What's your job? I'm just a hype man.
Yeah.
I just come up here and yell and scream. Again, innovation, right? Now that's how many people how many people have made a career on not so quite making beats, but I'm just a hype guy. I just kind of shout on audio tracks and just cash checks, and it works. Yeah. But Fear of a Black Planet is one of the best hip hop albums of all time.
Oh yeah.
It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back, and then Apocalypse 9-1 are just bang, bang, bang. But it's rarefied air to get into that 4 club.
It is,
right?
and so it talks a lot of credit to Chuck D, right? Putting this group together and keeping it solid and tolerating Flavor Flav for 30 years.
And that stuff, and I think, my wife and I, we were watching they're on Tubi, and we watched all the Flavor of Love shows.
Oh no!
And she loved it. The greatest, the trashiest of all of the reality dating shows.
And Tequila. Oh my God!
Yes.
It feels like battery acid on my brain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So where do you guys? So we'll kind of stick on hip hop. How do you guys feel about Run the Jewels? I think that may be the most contemporary. I will solidify 1, 2, and 3. Their 4th album just came out. Have you guys listened to it? And moreover, do you think that they're in the Grand Slam Club?
I think that if you appreciate Run the Jewels musically, then yes. But does it have to reach a wide audience, or does it just have to be just a banging album?
I think it does. I will say to make this list, you can't just have good lists. This is 4 great albums. I think the first 3 Run the Jewels albums are great, prophetic albums. The 4th is very good, but I don't think it quite cuts the mustard.
Did it just drop like this week? I haven't listened to was it RTJ? They just call it Run the Jewels 4, right?
No,
they just name them what they name them, like 1, 2, 3, and 4.
RTJ 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah.
Do they change the hand symbols at all?
They go from a zombie to whatever, but it's all the same. You got their symbol. I like it, but I think 4 is a very good album, not a great album.
All right, so it doesn't make the list. I'll check out the album when I get some extra money to drop on iTunes a little bit later. But
yeah, yeah. So Daft Punk. Do you guys like Daft Punk?
I do.
Yes,
I think they're in the club, especially if you count Tron.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so with Daft Punk, each album gets progressively better.
Yeah. Homework was the first. So I guess I don't know. Discovery, Human After All.
I mean, well,
starting at Homework or starting
Homework
at Discovery. Okay.
So Homework first, and then their
Discovery is after Homework.
Their landmark album Discovery.
Yeah, put them on the map.
And then
Human After All.
No, before Human After All. Oh wait, yes,
Human After All, and then Tron.
Random Access Memories.
Well, Ram comes after Tron if you're counting, because they did the whole Tron album.
Yeah, but it's a soundtrack, not an
album
proper.
Okay.
Which I think it works as an album, though. It's, very Tron heavy and works independently, and one of the best soundtracks of all time.
Yeah, so I'm not going to throw Daft Punk onto the list because there's only so many times you can hear the words "around the world" before you go crazy.
All right.
Discovery, I love that album beginning to end, especially because there's a long anime music video that goes in time with the album. But I don't think that Homework is a great album. I think it's an innovative album. I think it's a fun album, but I don't think Homework is a great album. So
that breaks it up. That breaks up the 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Okay.
What else?
Well, should we go? I mean, the low-hanging fruit is the Beatles and Led Zeppelin, right? If you go anything, whether you like the Beatles or not, it's undeniable that Rubber Soul till the end of their career are all phenomenal albums. And that's why, if you want to make an argument, like the early stuff doesn't quite fit in. It's more of a compilation of singles. Right. When you start from Rubber Soul album, from beginning to end, paints a picture, tells a story. And then the other one is easy peasy lemon squeezy's Led Zeppelin, right? All of their albums from 1 to Physical Graffiti are
Now, here's
phenomenal.
the thing about Led Zeppelin, though, because if you ask other artists, they jacked some of those songs. So,
that was so famously they steal from blues musicians.
Of course. Yeah.
Who hasn't? All these guys do. And I'm not holding against it. But that if you look into that lawsuit specifically for Stairway to Heaven, that riff is from classical music and is brought over and over and over, and they were acquitted of that. But I think whether it's, I mean, we're just talking about Daft Punk. I know they didn't make the list, but they're literally sampling their entire album.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Right. So I think Zeppelin is in there easy. Where they're going 1 through 4, 4 through Physical Graffiti, they're in the club, and you know who isn't in the club as far as I'm concerned is the Rolling Stones. I think the Rolling Stones are great musicians, probably top 3 of my favorite groups, but there's some stinkers in there. You know, they've got disco album, they've got other stuff. They've got a lot of 2 in the row, but no 4 in the row.
Okay, to that point, the Rolling Stones, the Doors, the Who, those are all amazing bands, but I don't think that being an amazing band precludes you from still being overrated.
No, I don't know if the Who's overrated, but they're in that club with the Rolling Stones where they've got Tommy is one of the greatest albums of all time. Quadrophenia is one of the greatest albums of all time. But again, they were kind of a hit poppy singles band that has a lot of good singles on albums that have a lot of crappy songs on them.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
How do we feel about Aerosmith from Pump to Just Push Play?
They're Just Push Play has a lot of stinkers in there.
Okay,
too.
yeah, you're right.
And they're again, I love Aerosmith. They're kind of poppy too. Didn't innovate as much as the other bands, but I really enjoy Aerosmith. But there's a lot of mediocre to, dare I say, bad songs, especially in Just Push Play.
So does it count if all of your albums are the same album over and over and over again?
Well, possibly. So the Ramones, I think, is. I think the Ramones are in that. If you go from is it Meet the Ramones to Rocket to Russia, those 4 albums are the same covers, all that stuff. I think they're 4 great albums. But if you talk to someone that's not a Ramones fan, they've got that argument like, it's the same album over and over again.
Yeah, well, I was talking about, you can go Chili Peppers like maybe not Blood Sugar Sex Magic, but definitely One Hot Minute all the way to Stadium Arcadium are kind of the same album. Over and over and over again.
What about Linkin Park?
Ooh, I think Linkin Park.
I don't think so. I think they've got mediocre songs. In there.
But okay. So, I mean,
even if you put Hybrid Theory in there, which I think is top to bottom is great,
a nearly perfect album. Meteora is also a nearly perfect album. Does Reanimation count being a remix album?
No.
You can even if you include Reanimation, I don't think they have 4 consecutive.
Because if you include Reanimation, then it's Hybrid Theory to Minutes to Midnight, right? I'm not missing anything.
I don't think
in the
Minutes
middle.
to Midnight cuts the mustard, even though because Reanimation, you're remixing songs, you have Jay-Z on it, and I love it.
No,
I think
that
it's
was
really fun.
That's not Reanimation.
But-
That's Collision Course. Reanimation is
Collision
the previous.
Course. Sorry, that's what.
It's
Even if you include Collision Course, I don't think you have the.
But I was talking about Reanimation, which is also a remix album. Their sophomore album, sort of.
Hybrid Theory, Meteora.
Reanimation is in between.
No. We're not counting remixes.
Okay, so Hybrid Theory, Meteora,
Minutes to Midnight, and 1,000 Suns.
1,000 Suns isn't great, so yeah, they don't hit the. They don't hit the mark.
I think they're very good
They
albums.
would need Collision Course and or
Not great
Reanimation to make them
albums.
hit the mark. But yeah, okay, fair enough.
So we'll go through a couple. What about Pink Floyd? Dark Side of the Mood to the Wall.
Okay, yeah,
I think they're in there. I think that
it's
counts.
good,
I mean,
but you have to
whether
be willing to
count-
listen to 20 hours of Pink Floyd. Not literally, but you know what I mean.
That's part of it. I think they're all good albums. I mean, I think Animals might be there. There's some people that might push against it. There might be some people that push against The Wall, but The Wall sold commercially. I think it's really enjoying.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll give you.
That's
Okay, then Kanye West makes the cut too.
absolutely.
College Dropout to 808 if you want to do that run. Even My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. So he's got 5.
Nah,
I think so too. Yeah,
I think College Dropout
To 808 is the 4 in the run.
No, College Dropout.
Late Registration is number
Late
2.
Registration.
Graduation's number 3.
Graduation.
And then 808 is number 4. We're talking about consecutive, so they have to go in order.
you have to go.
in order?
To make this
you
list.
have to go. You have to go 4 in a row.
I mean, those are not his best albums because Life of Pablo is brilliant.
And then My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is the culmination of his entire career.
So that's what I mean. So if you can do College, but that's right after 808. So you could do 5 in a row. He still makes the list. He gets a Grand Slam plus 1.
yeah,
Either way,
I
Kanye hits
think
the list. He's a to quote.
I think so too.
He's a real genius.
A giant.
He is. He's goofy. He's cockamamie, but he is a phenomenal musician.
Yeah,
Anyone
we don't
likes it.
necessarily support Kanye's social attitudes and behaviors, but we support Kanye the artist.
We're talking about nothing else but albums.
Kanye the hip hop
Yes.
artist producer. Clarify in case anybody gets a frog up their butt about Kanye support there.
Black Sabbath. Sorry.
We'll go. No, Black Sabbath. We can move on past Kanye. No, we're fine.
No, we could talk. We could talk about Kanye.
We could have a whole podcast about Kanye.
Yeah, but no, I think Black Sabbath. Even though if you like Black Sabbath, you love Sabbath through Volume 4. If you don't, this is terrible. But I think it's innovative. I think they're in the club. I think
that's
1 through
interesting
4
because-
they're maybe +1 with Sabbath. Bloody Sabbath is their 5th album.
Yeah, but those 1 through 4 albums didn't do well critically.
Yeah, but the critics don't know dick about
That's fair.
heavy metal. So, you could say dick on Facebook, right?
Yeah, we can do that. We're okay.
Corn.
Corn from Freak on a Leash to what? Okay, not Corn.
Yeah, Korn. But what about the White Stripes?
No, I think that The Style is not a great album.
Okay.
I think it's a good album, but not a. This is my opinion.
I love it. I think they're in the club. I think the Stripes, their first. I guess they had an album before, but their 2 through 5 are phenomenal albums.
So starting at The Style.
Even if you go White Blood Cells to Elephant to Get Behind Me Satan, Get
To
Behind
Icky
Me
Thump?
Satan to
Yeah.
Icky Thump. I think you're going 4 great albums.
Okay, I don't know if I've listened to Icky Thump all the way through, so I can't comment on that. But
It's great.
White Blood
Sonically,
Cells, Elephant, and
it's
Get
worth it.
Well, I mean, if White Styles makes the cut, does Radiohead make the cut too?
I think they do.
Yeah.
What about
Yeah,
Coldplay?
I think
Huh?
Coldplay's in an S tier. They're untouchable. Every single song they've ever come out with is the greatest song ever made.
Okay, we'll end on that. We can't get better than Coldplay.
Yeah, no.
So let's take a
No,
moment.
Radiohead's a good one. Radiohead is a good one because they've changed over time. They're very artsy fartsy. Critically, they do very well. In sales, Kid A did well.
Yeah.
But I think they're in the club.
So from OK Computer to Hail to the Thief, right? Is that the run? The Benz is good too, but from OK Computer to Hail to the Thief. Okay. On that note, I'm gonna end the segment with this. I know we didn't get all of these albums that are the best, guys.
I'm gonna shameless plug one more band, and that is Motion City Soundtrack. From I Am the Movie to My Dinosaur Life, those are 4 solid albums, start to finish.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you. Okay, I thought this was gonna be over, but I can't remember. We're going into punk bands now, so
no, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going because we're going to kill the
we'll run with it. Oh man, Green Day misses it because Nimrod was a flop.
Nimrod was a staple in my youth. Love Nimrod.
It's not
going back
album.
and listening to those. So I'll do rapid fire for albums. Beastie Boys. Metallica.
Yeah. Van Halen.
Tool. No, Van Halen doesn't make the cut.
No? Okay.
No, they don't have 4 in a row. Queens of the Stone Age. David Bowie's S tier. Every single album he makes is artistic, but if you want to get into it, Man Who Sold the World to Aladdin Sane. Neil Young.
Okay.
Steely Dan.
Yeah, Blink-182 from Dude Ranch to Self-Titled.
Take Off Your Pants Jacket is good. Would that be their 3rd one or is that their 4th one in a row? If
Take Off would be number 3.
Enema of the State. Yeah, so what was their 4th one? It wasn't that
Self-Titled.
great.
Self-Titled. It was good. It changed the sound. It's a little Angels and Airwaves, but I could listen to it straight through. Okay.
All right, so just finishing out Talking Heads. They say Waylon Jennings.
Okay.
Stevie Wonder.
Nice.
And that's what I got.
Fall Out Boy.
Yes.
I'll give you your first 2 for Fall Out Boy. I don't know about 3 and 4. If you go first 3 Fall Out Boy maybe, but I'm not getting you with their 4th. Where is your boy tonight? I hope he's a gentleman.
So what would that be? Where are we starting with Fall Out Boy? Are we starting with Take This to Your Grave?
Yes.
Okay, Take This to Your Grave is great. Under the Court Crew is great. Infinity on High is great. And Folly I Do is great. That album's awesome.
Folly I Do.
I think if you like that ska,
they don't have horns.
Good.
It's not ska. it's emo punk. It's
emo pop punk.
Emo pop punk.
Okay, emo pop punk. Yes, I think if you're an outsider, it's hard to appreciate the Fall Out Boy.
Yeah.
I think even Fall Out Boy fans would say they've changed. We didn't like their poppy transition. It's hard to get that 4 in a row. I'm not saying they don't enjoy it, but I'm saying to say that they enjoy 4 in a row, it's a little bit of a tall order.
Okay. All right. For real this time, let's take a moment in silence to mourn Fall Out Boy not making the list, apparently.
Not making Rex's list.
Hello and welcome to Toilet Time, something to occupy yourself while you pop a squat. This is Jack.
And this is Nova, and we have our kitty Misty with us. Misty, say hi.
You can find us on any streaming service that you stream your podcasts.
And you can find us on Instagram at Toilet Times Podcast.
We upload every Sunday, and if we don't upload,
we're dead.
And we're back. Okay.
First off, Rex's list is the list, and I don't want to hear anything different, okay? My list is the end-all, be-all. It is the correct list.
Hey.
There's no...
He's the only one with a doctor in front of his name.
That's right.
Dr. Rex.
What that doctorate isn't for, that's yet to be determined, but...
Yeah. So the other part, let's shift gears here for a second. There's been a lot going on, and this is a pop culture podcast. So for those of you who are new to the channel, we haven't really dived into this before, but we're going to talk about our spam. No, not the junk email that you throw away, not the canned meat that tastes good on Hawaiian pizza, I guess. But spam, sports, pop culture, arts and music, media, movies, TV, blah, 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 blah. There's as many M's as we want in spam, right? We're going to do some hot takes for you. So I'll go first. Sports. Connor McGregor got iced by Poirier in 2 rounds. Holy crap. Leg kick, leg kick, leg kick, leg kick, leg kick. Flurry of punches, knockout.
Have we seen the last time McGregor's in the octagon?
No. But
he's making too much money.
Jake Paul's been trying to fight him for the last, however, offering up to a $50 million purse, and I think he just cut the purse down to 10 grand.
Yeah, no, McGregor's going to have a cupcake, and then he's going to have number 3 of this series of fights, which will be exciting. It'll be one of the biggest pay-per-views of all time.
Yeah, if they still give him the ticket, right? I thought that now that he's got another loss under his belt, that he might not be on the ticket for that, for the Medvedev fight.
He will. He will. He brings in too many views for pay-per-view. He's an S talker. He has a doctorate, just as your friend your ex Rebo does in S talking. And he'll be on the next ticket, and then he'll have the third one of this fight.
Okay,
Mark my words.
Okay. Arts and music. Speaking of keeping it with the UFC trend, Eminem fake disses Dana White on air to promote Higher. Also, he's fan casting for Higher. So if those of you Eminem fans want to be out there, I think you can still submit. Record yourself singing the hook to Higher, and Eminem might put you in the music video. So yeah. I skipped pop culture. Did I?
Sports. The passing of the late great Hank Aaron.
The Hammer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, greatest home run hitter of all time.
Yep.
One of the greatest hitters of all time. Top 5 greatest baseball players of all time, right?
Yeah, and there's chatter about, not official chatter, like BS chatter, about possibly renaming the Braves to the Atlanta Hammers.
I'd be okay with that.
Keep the tomahawk.
Jason, your grandfather would have played against old Hammer and Hank, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. So, the teams, Hank Aaron retired in 1976. My grandfather retired in 72. So they would have crossed paths at least a couple of times. But there was a game I pulled stats for, August 25th, 1971. And my grandfather went 3 for 5 with 2 runs and 2 RBIs in that game.
Ooh, that is awesome.
And the Pirates won that game like 13-6. So,
nice.
But that was, of course,
that is so cool.
That's the same year my grandfather won the World Series. So go Pirates.
Pirates
go
were pretty good that year. Yeah.
Go Bucks.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So sports, pop culture. Stallone is ditching LA. Maybe he's selling his house for a boatload of money.
To go where?
I don't know.
Now, wait. So,
Maybe I'm gonna go.
did he live in Balboa Island? I always assumed that Balboa Island, where all the rich people live in L.A., was actually named after Stallone. I assumed that he actually did not have a house there and probably was in Los Angeles proper, somewhere in the hills, maybe.
Yeah, I think he's trying to get. Oh, actually, his house is actually in Beverly Park, and I think he's asking $130 million for it.
Oh, that's it?
I mean,
yeah, maybe I'll use it as one of my vacation homes.
The highest price ever paid for a home in that part of Beverly Park is $40 million. So he's asking triple the.
Yeah. I'll use it as one of my vacation homes.
Yeah,
that's nothing.
What else?
Toilet paper.
Prince William and Kate Middleton got a new puppy.
Nice. What kind of dog did they get?
I don't know. It's a secret.
Okay.
Secret royal puppy.
All right, Prince.
Somebody out there knows.
You keep your secrets.
What else?
It's a secret. Yeah. Why would it be a secret? Who cares what kind of dog they have?
Hey, I don't write the news. I'm not a royal. I don't know.
Oh, I love it. Well, in more important pop culture news, how great was that Bernie Sanders meme? The political divide. I don't care whether you're right, left, middle. That everyone loves an old man trying to bundle up with some great
and
he's on
everywhere right now. That Bernie Sanders meme is everywhere.
If Joe Biden's team had their pulse on pop culture, he would have stopped in the middle of his address and got an old man blanket and just wrapped him up. And it just would have been like that seals the deal for the next year. Like you're in. It doesn't matter.
Darling for the rest of
the year. Yeah. Like as another old man who hates being in the cold weather. Here, let me cover you up, Bernie. Like would have united the Democratic Party, probably brought a lot of Republicans in, but no, they missed a great opportunity. I love those memes,
Full disclaimer, this is as much about politics as we're going to talk. Bernie Sanders getting warm in mittens. We don't do politics on this show. But Bernie Sanders in mittens is pop culture, not politics.
This is as polarizing as we get.
Putting that out there.
Friends across
speaking of old men who hate the cold, rest in peace, Larry King. We lost Larry King this week. And apparently it was in Larry King's wishes to be frozen after death. So I guess he loves the cold, doesn't hate the cold.
Do you think him and Walt Disney are going to be bunkmates? Like, hey, come on up to Cinderella's castle.
Well, no, it's just Walt Disney's head. I think all of Larry King is supposed to be frozen.
Okay. Nice.
So yeah,
Nice. I like it. Some people like to be cremated. Larry King wants to be frozen.
yeah. And speaking of out with it, what did you hear about Casey Affleck?
I know that his brother broke up with his girlfriend.
Yeah, so De Armas is out of the Affleck. There's no De Armas Fleck anymore. Was that a thing?
Obviously not, since I didn't know about it.
No, I don't know. Well, apparently Casey Affleck was reportedly threw out a life-size cardboard cutout of Anna De Armas, like took it out with the trash.
I love it. I love it. I love this trashy media. So can we, in arts, the
Yeah.
Muppet Show, did you guys see that the Muppet Show, all 5 seasons is coming to Disney Plus? Now, I know this sounds, for us Muppet fans, we love it, but I think even more importantly, the fact that, so just a little background, they already have the first 4 seasons of the Muppet Show on DVD, but it's highly edited because those of us that watch the Muppet Show, there's musical guests, there's all that stuff. So it's really hard to get the rights for this stuff. But Disney is having unedited all 5 seasons put on Disney Plus. So that opens the door for all of these shows that were left in limbo for so long to get put on Disney Plus. Now I'm talking the Star Wars Christmas special and a bunch of other things that had were left in production limbo, where you've got 2 production companies, whether it's CBS and Fox and everything like that. So this is big news for us nostalgia fans that got locked out of the nostalgia window.
Yeah, that's awesome. Looking forward to mupping it up to do.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be a real animal that way. Ba-doom.
All right. No, so last movies, did you guys watch the Godzilla versus Kong trailer?
The trailer, yeah. So that movie actually looks better than the sum of its parts because the previous movies were mediocre at best. I don't know what else to say about the Godzilla movie. They haven't had a good Godzilla. We talked about this. The Japanese Godzilla movies are on point, but the
Shin
American-
Godzilla is probably top 3 greatest Godzilla movies of all time.
But like the regular Godzilla films that have come out in the last couple of years, all the way back from Godzilla 2000 to the current one, are not great. And the Kong movie was just okay. Nothing to write home about. Nothing completely special, but
Yeah, it looks fun. It looks like an action movie. I mean, I would take Pacific Rim, maybe even 2 over what they're going to put out there, but it looks fun. Sometimes you just want to take off your thinking cap and watch 2 kaijus just go to town and just punch each other.
Yeah.
And just settle it old school style, and let's just punch each other and see who ends up on top.
And they keep trying to make these movies more than they need to be when it just should be monster beat monster.
So who are you guys taking? Are you taking Godzilla or Kong? If you had $1,000 to lay on the line, who are you taking?
I think
Kong or Godzilla?
I think that it's going to end with a surprise third party that's going to unite them.
Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah, Mothra.
Yes,
whatever.
Yeah, but no, who are you taking?
Mothra is the female, protagonist to Godzilla's male.
Yeah, I know.
So-
But I'm saying 1v1 Godzilla
1v1
versus
Godzilla
Kong.
versus Kong.
Who's
Who-
fighting?
who has it?
No,
Who's your
no
big gun?
rules,
Hilarious.
no laws.
Man, between the flame throwing of Godzilla versus Kong's ambidextrous no, that's just humans. They don't
Yeah.
have opposable thumbs.
I mean, Kong. His hands work.
his hands work. Yes.
Yeah, his thumbs are still out here, like
Yeah.
gorilla thumbs.
But who takes it between Kong and Gojira? Godzilla takes it. All he has to do is take Kong into the water.
Oh, true.
That's right. Oh,
Yeah.
Gojira all the time,
Gojira.
all the way.
Gojira.
All the money, push the chips in. Unbeatable. I'm with you. Gojira. Also, look, a shout out to Rebecca giving us a gift over there on Reddit.
Oh, nice. Thank you, Becca.
Way to go.
Love you. We love you a lot.
Oh,
Okay, so I guess we can move past. Okay, so where are we now? We're movies. Oh, WandaVision. I'm gonna do something fun and then drop a media bomb. WandaVision. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. No spoilers here right now. But
finish this and then go watch WandaVision.
Then go watch WandaVision.
Yes.
I mean, it's not a secret that WandaVision is. Well, maybe it is a secret. I don't know. This is the only spoiler I'm going to give. It's a minor spoiler. So far, the 3 episodes of WandaVision are going by decades, and they're playing homage to classic sitcoms, and it's brilliant. So, from the 50s, I Love Lucy, Dick Van Dyke Show, to the Bewitched, I Dream of Jeannie feel, to the Brady Bunch, Partridge Family, whatever. Go watch WandaVision because it's awesome. And the bomb that I'm going to drop on you right now is that apparently Christopher Nolan and Warner Brothers are shredding the marriage vows after a long, illustrious career. So, yeah, apparently Christopher Nolan's not too keen about them releasing films on streaming.
He's been keeping Warner Brothers together for the past 15 years, if you want to put in
Batman, right?
Interstellar and Inception and all those movies. He's been, and especially because he's worked with Leo and all those guys. I'd be interested to see what Leonardo DiCaprio has to say about it. But that's bad news for Warner Brothers. And I know he was publicly very upset about the way they handled releasing it to HBO Max and doing all that
Tenet,
stuff.
You mean?
Because he is one of 3, maybe 4 directors that actually shoots on film.
Yeah.
And he held that genre. And of course, he does that because he loves the theater experience.
And he's a media darling.
Great composers.
He is the darling director right now. The guy that you want to film your big budget epic, tasteful epic, story-driven epic on right now.
Well, they've done... So let me trash Warner Brothers for a little bit more. They really screwed things over when they didn't lock up the director of Mad Max Fury Road, George Miller.
Yeah.
And kind of, so those who don't know, there was a dispute about how much money the movie made, how much the movie cost, and they kind of scorned George Miller. George Miller was set to direct the Justice League movie. And could you imagine coming off of Fury Road and directing the Justice League movie with Christopher Nolan producing it, which I'm sure it would have gone, maybe had to film in Australia, but who gives a rip, right?
Right, yeah.
George Miller coming off of Fury Road with another Mad Max movie coming on the tails of it. Well, Warner Brothers decide to dispute it and fight that and tell him he didn't have as much coming to him. If George Miller is going to direct the Justice League movie, I'm giving him a blank check, right? Like, all right, maybe there's a little dispute. We'll give you as many points on the back end as you want. And they screwed it. I don't know who's running Warner Brothers Studio, if it's old guard people or young people that don't know what the hell they're talking about. But they, as a business sense, have screwed over that entire production company because they had a golden goose and they scorned him by not telling him that they were going to release his movies via streaming. Like, he found out the way the rest of us found out. Like, that's just unprofessional, terrible business. And then on top of it, you hear that he paid Patty Jenkins and Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot, out the nose.
Oh, yeah.
Because they weren't having a theatrical release and didn't do anything for Chris Nolan and the Dune director. I keep forgetting his name. Villanueva, who is the golden goose coming up, right? He's done nothing but just made beautiful films. So they're screwing things up. I don't know what's going over on Warner Brothers, but that's a bombshell. I had no idea that's what happened.
Yeah.
But it's insane.
I mean, it's not finalized. You know, it's kind of trash talk rumors, but it's pretty prevalent. Like, both of their camps have.
Well, the fact that you let a rumor like that get out shows the ineptitude of the Warner Brothers company. And they need to get things figured out. And hopefully they do, because I do love Warner Brothers. I do love Batman.
Most
I do love all that stuff. Yeah, but they, as a company, they've made some phenomenal and some of my favorite movies. So hopefully they get it figured out.
Yeah. And last but not least,
gonna leave with this. Basically, No Time to Die has been pushed back once again to October of 2021.
Oh, man.
Yeah, like nearly a 2-year delay from its original release date of like
Bond. Lame Bond.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm bad
Did
with
they
puns
say,
today.
is that movie in the can? Do we know?
It is. It was supposed to be released in April of 2020.
Okay, so
Then it got pushed to November of 2020, and now it's October of 2021.
so leading up to Daniel Craig's last outing as Bond is a super letdown for everybody.
Unless
Yeah, like-
he's fighting Godzilla and King Kong, I'm not very excited about this.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything, and besides everything that's been tumultuous about the production itself, bringing in certain writers that are basically going to destroy the patriarchy of the next James Bond, and the inflammatory headlines reading, the next James Bond is a woman. Studios like this are, bringing about a new trend of force feeding audiences their beliefs at a cost of alienating their fan base and destroying the fanfare for intellectual properties. How do you trust, James Bond or Star Wars after these, executive producers are telling you what to like about or not like about these franchises?
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly. And it's too many cooks, right?
Yeah.
Any piece of art, whether it's a painting, a poem, a piece of music. I mean, you could say Beyonce has 1,000 producers and makes great albums. That's everybody's.
Yeah,
intro.
but
for the most part, anytime you add, let me add a color here, let me add a stanza here, it just doesn't work. Let the artist go onto themselves. Now, having a bunch of rewrites I don't think it damns movies as much as people think it does. A lot of your favorite movies had a ton of rewrites. You just never knew about it. There's a bunch of ghostwriters that you didn't know about it. But it does, as soon as you're like, I don't like the tone of this, I don't like this, it was like, well, then you shouldn't have hired this person to A, either direct it, or B, write this film.
Right, yeah.
And you're getting into dangerous area when you do something like that. I hope it's good. Who is directing this? It's not Sam Mendes, is it?
It might be.
Yeah, I think
Because I thought he was attached to it, and then I don't know if things changed. And he's a great director. He's a cinematic director. He's
Oh no,
he's
you're
done a
right.
great
Tim Mendes
job.
is out. What's his name? It's that's right. The Japanese guy, Kerry Fukugana, is in.
What else has he done? Do you know? But I know Sam Mendes. I love Sam Mendes as a director, whether it's American
his run
Beauties
with,
to
Yeah,
his action
Kerry Fukugana
movies.
did Beasts of No Nation, Maniac, Jane Eyre, back in 11.
Okay, so not big budget movies, but very story centric, character driven films.
Yeah.
So that speaks well, and I'm glad he's getting a chance to do it.
Oh, he did It. He wrote It. He didn't direct It, but he wrote It, the new It.
Nice.
So
okay.
he has some chops there. when it comes to-
I genuinely hope it's well. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
going to speak ill of it,
He's been
because
a
I
good
do love the
producer.
Bond franchise.
He's been a good producer, executive producer, because he executive produced The Alienist, which I just found out about. My dad put me onto it. It's basically like a 18th century Hannibal type guy, like FBI profiler, Criminal Minds type deal. But like,
Was he part of True Detectives too?
He did
Mike
True
just
Detectives
told us
also,
that.
yeah.
So okay, so he's good. And I'll tell you what, executive producer has no greater range of activity than any other job in Hollywood. There's some executive producer where it's like, just give me an EP credit because I know the producer and he won't do the job unless you know it. Or I threw a bunch of money in it. Or there's executive producers that deal with everything from casting to script to director to they're on the set every day. So it's always, I've always wondered when it's like, oh, he was executive producer. It's like, oh,
well, yeah,
does
I think he
just have a
I think he
boatload of
directed a
money and all
handful
that
of
stuff?
episodes in True Detective also. So he's got
Nice,
some of those director
nice.
credits. As
Yeah,
well.
so
story-driven
positive.
stuff will be good. Yeah.
Nice. Good.
All right.
So I hope it's well.
Yeah, we're getting fuzzy now, so that's our time. Hey guys, tune in next week, next Monday, same bat time, same bat. Can we say that?
Yeah, we
Okay.
can. I talked to Adam West. He says it's okay.
Tune in next week, same bat time, same bat channel, for the Digital Toilet Paper Podcast. I'm your host, Jason Bear, and my co-hosts are
Rex Rebo.
at Armed and Hilarious.
And we appreciate you guys so much. Thank you, Facebook Live. Thank you, Reddit. We love you guys. And we will catch you later. Adios.
Love you.
Late.